Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Tobago. I'm Davia Chambers. Can you guess our location for this week's episode? If you said Little Tobago, then you are correct. We are at Little Tobago, also known as Bird of Paradise Island. Of course, it's our location for the next half hour as we bring you up to date on the major stories happening right here in Tobago. We also cannot wait to show you this lovely outdoor spot that's a favorite to visitors and locals alike. So as usual, we're going to get started with the headlines. The Buku Integrated Facility will come alive on Easter Tuesday for the eagerly awaited Buku Goat and Crab races. Winners of the Be Money Smart Video Challenge are announced during a recent prize-giving function. JCI holds a 5K tempo run or walkathon in recognition of World Down Syndrome Day, and later, the public is advised to be cautious and safeguard themselves against the COVID-19 virus and its variants during the Easter celebrations. We have all these stories and more for you when Let's Talk Tobago returns. Stay with us. Little Tobago, also known as Bird of Paradise Island, is located just about 3 kilometers off the coast of the village of Speyside, Tobago. This mountainous little island was a cotton plantation in the late 1700s. After the collapse of the cotton industry, Sir William Ingram purchased the island and imported and introduced a colony of 24 pairs of the Bird of Paradise. Today, it is the main nesting area for the red-billed tropic bird in Tobago and one of the Caribbean's important seabird sanctuaries. The wait is finally over. After a 2-year wait due to the COVID-19 restrictions, goat racing in Buku is finally back. This time under the theme, A Taste of Buku. It's happening at the Buku Integrated Facility, and Crystal George tells us what you can expect.
Originating in Buku, goat racing has evolved into one of the island's biggest attractions as it continues to draw spectators from around the world. However, for the past 2 years, due to the global pandemic, the event didn't happen. Now, in 2022, visitors and locals alike will witness a well-missed showcase of goat and crab racing titled Taste of Buku.
Buku is one of those villages in Tobago that has a little of everything. Buku has sports, Buku has tourism, Buku has industry. And for 2022, what we are trying to accomplish here is the rebirth of something that has gone dormant for 2 years. Yeah? Due to the COVID pandemic, we were not able to host the annual Goat Race Festival. And this year, we are determined to host the festival. As the assemblyman for the Bukuman Pleasant area, I took it on myself to coordinate the process in the absence of the village council to ensure that the event came off. Not just to say it came off, but to ensure the survival of an art form that is indigenous to Tobago.
To commence the day, there is a street parade where people can chip to the rhythmic music of the pulsating drums and steel pan through the streets, after which
we will have the goat races, we'll have crab races, and also we'll have all that beautiful cuisine that's synonymous to Tobago. We'll have handicraft on sale, we'll have a parade in the streets, we'll have steel bands, we'll even have praise and worship. It promises to be something special.
The event is surrounded by all the spectacle and pomp of the better-known thoroughbred goats. A lot of preparation go into this event in order for the day to be successful. So the goat owners are pleased and set to have a day of fun on the track after 2 years of not being able to run their animals.
How pleased we are to be having a taste of Buku this year. It's been 2 years since we have raced our animals, and what should I say? It's a pleasure to be able to come out and race this time. It's an initiative of the Goat Owners Association along with Mr. Sonny Craig, the area representative, and the committee that was put in place to form this event, to take this event on.
Goat racing is a serious business, as well as an interesting and unique event. So now that the restriction has been eased, it is imperative to bring back this staple event to the fishing village of Buku Easter Tuesday. And the action kicks off from 11 a.m. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
The Roxborough Police Youth Club is on a mission to clean up their community by reusing and repurposing plastic bottles. Omadara Mills has more about the club's latest program in this next story. Have a look.
The bench that I'm sitting on right now was made using 10,000 plastic bottles, while the plant pot next to it was made using 2,000 plastic bottles. Now, these two items were manufactured using repurposed materials right here at the Roxborough Police Youth Club's Plastics Upcycling and Learning Center. It's the club's latest environmental initiative. Project coordinator of the center, Crystal Bascom, gives the rationale for this new program.
It falls in line with one of our initiatives. We wanted to make Roxborough one of the cleanest villages by 2025. So this project aids in helping that process in terms of getting rid of the plastic bottles that we have within the community and the environs presently.
Corey Phillips is one of the Roxborough Police Youth Club members who has been trained to use the machines, repurpose the plastics, and manufacture products such as stepping stones, sidewalk bridges, benches, and flower pots. They were also trained to practice health and safety measures.
I was actually surprised. It made me more excited into learning more and more. And so far we've been from the training. It was a little difficult, but as time go along, you try and try again, and eventually got it.
The environmental program includes an educational and community sensitization component. Clearly labeled bins will also be placed throughout Roxborough as well as Argyle, so that people can dispose of plastics properly. Ms. Bascom explains the other ways in which bottles will be collected.
There are different streets within the Roxborough community, and each person would be assigned a street whereby we would go give them that education information in terms of sorting their garbage so that they could put aside the plastic bottles and we would collect them ourselves, or they have the option of bringing them to the youth club. Just across from the gym, there's a concrete structure that we have allocated that the plastic bottles would be placed in.
The program was launched in time for Global Recycling Day this year. It was funded with a grant from the Global Environmental Facility Small Grants Program within the United Nations Development Program. The Flying Tree Foundation partnered with the club in establishing the project. Committee members plan to roll out the business side of the program in the near future. I'm Omadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Tobago's secondary school students showed off their skills in video as they participated in the Financial Literacy Secretariat's Global Money Week 2022 Be Money Smart Video Challenge. Recently, the best of the best were rewarded during a prize-giving ceremony. Here's more.
My money. My money.
Money?
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 Yes, money. It is all within my reach. I'm stacking up.
You're packing up?
Saving up. Investing and expanding the reach.
It was an exceptionally creative video by sister duo Anthurium and Antoinette Lewis, which spoke to the importance of investing, saving, and wealth creation that landed the sisters as the winners of the Division of Finance, Trade, and the Economy's Be Money Smart Video Challenge for secondary school students in celebration of Global Money Week 2022. They won $2,000 in unit trust units and a laptop.
Both my sister feel elated. We are very happy that we won because so much hard work went to it, how much money we have spent to get the things to make it look fancy and so forth. And also we would have asked many people to support us.
I noticed the title was Be Money Smart.
So I knew the importance of money in our society today and how much it impacts our lives and the factor that it has in our lives. So I decided to, okay, let's join in and see what happens.
Coordinator of the Financial Literacy Secretariat, Afisha McCain, says 5 finalists were chosen by a panel of 6 independent judges.
So our children stepped up to the challenge, and I want to congratulate and thank each child, parent and guardian and teacher who would have worked with their children to submit videos for the challenge.
And the participants were encouraged to maintain good practices with money.
Every cent you get, every money that you come by, save at least, put aside, you have your school funds, put aside at least 10%. And if every month you do that routinely and regularly, watch your portfolio.
According to Chief Secretary Honorable Fali Augustine, the Assembly plans to include financial literacy as a mandatory staple within our education system. He says young people must understand how to manage money, the benefits of saving, and how financial decisions made as a young person will impact adulthood.
We want you to be financially successful adults. Part of the challenge we have as an island is very often we are unable to create intergenerational wealth. But money has a way of generating more money.
The prizes distributed were as follows: Best Video Content, Anthurium and Antoinette Lewis. Most Creative Video, Anthurium and Antoinette Lewis. Most Popular Video, Malik Lyons. 4th place went to Malik Lyons. 3rd, Ioma Strawn George. 2nd, Kaylee Sebro. And 1st, Anthurium and Antoinette Lewis. Finalists received units from the Unit Trust Corporation and prizes sponsored by CJL Visuals Agency, AVT General Services, Buxton Office Supplies, Office Authority, June Melville, and the Financial Literacy Secretariat.
Our money, our future.
So we have to take a break, but do not go anywhere. Let's Talk Tobago. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
I decided to take the vaccine to first provide protection for myself and my family and the people around me, including my co-workers and everybody I come into contact with, including the public. In the course of my duties, I am heavily engaged in public discussion, public meets, and I do a lot of investigations in the public. So I decided, based on the empirical data provided and based on advice of my physician, that the vaccine is the way to go to protect us all. So, Vax Up, protection starts with us.
I am Annick Trotman from Roxborough. You are watching Let's Talk Tobago from the island of Little Tobago. Beautiful island. Come aboard. This is my Little Tobago story. What's yours?
On Thursday, the Tobago Agribusiness Development Company presented its first product launch and exhibition at the Gardenside Car Park under the theme Transitioning Agribusiness in Tobago, for members of the public to see, taste and explore all that our local agro-processors have to offer.
This event today is a display of all the local commodities that are grown, processed and branded and packaged right here in Tobago. This is something that we all should be proud of. We now have the infrastructure, machinery and equipment to maximize our products and services to Tobagonians and in the near future in Trinidad and by extension the Caribbean. My team and I are always seeking new opportunities to negotiate and partner with companies to assist Tobagonians in the development, training and initiating innovatives to enhance the product.
Also bringing remarks at the opening ceremony was Secretary of the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, Assemblyman Nathisha Charles Pantin.
I am happy to be here at TADCO's first product launch and exhibition, where we showcase and promote the best of Tobago's food products to the world. Such an activity brings about a deep sense of pride in me to see and partake of products developed by Tobago's very own innovative and richly talented agro-processors.
And the Chief Secretary, Honorable Fali Augustine, brought the feature address encouraging Tobagonians to bring to life from farm to fork as the island enhances its food production delivery and contribution to food security.
What TADCO does is important because it provides a way for us to reduce our import bill, our food import bill. It provides a way for us to reduce the need for forex or foreign currency or US dollars in particular. It provides a way for us to earn precious forex currencies. It provides a way for us to feed ourselves in a much more nutritious manner. In fact, if we grow and process what we eat, then it means that we are very familiar with what is in the product, which means that we are controlling what we are putting into our bodies.
Vibrant displays were also the order of the day as a wide range of TADCO branded products were on display and locally made foods like cakes, kurmas and bread. The month of April brings in focus autism spectrum disorder. Now it's commonly known as autism or ASD. It's a developmental disorder that affects communication skills and behavior. In this episode of I Am Able Just Differently, we hear from Maria Paria, who's currently the chairman of Autism Tobago. She shares why advocacy for those who are differently abled is important.
I'm a strong advocate for persons with disabilities. I mean, it started off with my own son, and wanting to have what is best for him, what is right for him. And then the more I, became introduced to the community of persons with disabilities, because not unless you involve yourself into a community or something, you might never know it exists. And I'm thinking, people just need to know that persons with disabilities exist and they have needs, they have a right to be here. World Down Syndrome Day, when some of the advocates were saying, inclusion means I have a right to be here, a right to contribute to my community. And for anybody, if you're in a workspace, you're in a school, make yourself aware. Don't just think that you're the only person in the world and everybody's like you. Autism Tobago has been in existence for about 10 years now. I joined about 6 or 7 years ago because I was invited to a parent workshop in which I learned that he had a sensory processing disorder because that's why he liked to bounce so much. He craves heavy stimulation and that's why he doesn't feel pain, So I learned so much there. I was like, what? I'm going to stay here. The parent support was nice. The engagement with older parents, with older children and learning from them. And I never left. It's a never-ending experience that you will have if you want to volunteer to any, not just Autism Tobago, but to any group that is passionate about advocating and educating others. Persons with autism is a spectrum, so they have highly intelligent people who have Asperger's, right? They just have their little quirks. But because it's a spectrum and people don't have a physical look like Down syndrome or you don't have a stick or something, you may not think that something is wrong because you just don't see anything wrong unless they're very severely autistic, they're not bobbing or hitting their heads or having a meltdown, you may not know. But sometimes just having a little compassion, because sometimes the parent might be struggling with a child in public and you look at the parent and it's like, they can't manage their child, look how the child being naughty in the grocery, but just having an extra compassion as a community for persons with disabilities, so they feel more free to integrate and to include their children in community.
Recently, the JCI Tobago held its very first 5K tempo run or walkathon in Tobago as they too contribute to the observance of persons living with disabilities. Here's more in this story from Crystal George.
NGO organization, the Junior Chamber International JCI, is one of those proactive organizations making a difference. And recently they embarked on yet another exciting initiative. Their first ever 5K Tempo Rock Your Socks run. And it was not only good for fun, but for a good cause.
Where we executed our first ever 5K Tempo run in recognition of persons with disabilities. Given the fact that last month was World Down Syndrome Day month and this month is Autism month, we decided, we can capture the two initiatives in one.
First timer to Tobago, JCI Vice President West Indies Kevin Cornett was pleased to be part of this great initiative undertaken by his colleagues.
JCI Tobago has done well in pulling off this initiative in raising awareness. The project was very impactful. We saw lots of people came out this morning, they rocked their socks, there was lots of vibes, and we did our thing.
Tobago-born long-distance sensation Mark London used this opportunity to dust off his running shoes and to be a part of something rewarding.
It's a wonderful initiative and I just came out to support today and test my fitness a little bit.
The run took place in East Tobago from Roxborough to Kings Bay Beach facility. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
It's time for a break, but when we return, the public is advised to continue to be cautious against the COVID-19 virus. It's coming up next, right after this break. Stay with us. Let's Talk Tobago. We'll be right back.
I am Anton Jordan, Building Superintendent of the Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and the Environment. I took the vaccine because I have 3 children. I don't want to be wondering what happens to them in the event that I have to be hospitalized from the coronavirus. Right now, we are heading back out to work. More likely than not, we may encounter someone on the job either has the virus or has been exposed to someone with the virus. Please, we all have to do our part. Vax up. Protection starts with us.
For the most part, Trinidad and Tobago has come out of the COVID-19 restrictions. But even as we engage in all the Easter activities, we must still remain vigilant. Omadara Mills tells us more about this matter in this next story. Listen up.
COVID-19 is currently in an endemic stage in Trinidad and Tobago, but that does not mean that COVID is over. These words of caution were expressed by the Secretary of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, Dr. Faith B. Israel. Dr. B. Israel, along with other health professionals in the TRHA, are urging the public to continue to safeguard themselves against the virus and its variants, since an endemic status means that there is still a high and consistent rate of infections.
We should still exercise caution because we are not sure what's going to happen in the future. Now, we know that Omicron is a little milder. What we've recognized, though, is that there's another variant coming out of Omicron that was just identified in England and in those places, the XE variant. We don't know yet how serious that would be. So we still need to exercise caution, we still need to wash our hands, we still need to wear a mask, to social distance and those things, because we are not sure what the next variant is going to be.
The Health Secretary says that persons with comorbidities like diabetes and hypertension are still vulnerable to the virus.
We are not at the point where we can go back to pre-pandemic life. We can't go back to normal just yet. We still have a high rate of people with non-communicable diseases in Trinidad and particularly in Tobago. We know that those people are the ones who get the greatest or the most severe illnesses if they get COVID. Again, because we do not know what the next variant will look like, we still need to protect the most vulnerable around us.
Dr. B. Israel is assuring that in the event of another wave of cases, COVID services are set to deal with increased numbers.
We have all of the doctors and nurses and other health professionals who have gotten a little bit of a break over the last couple months, thank God, but who are ready and willing to reactivate. Hopefully, we do not need to, for example, start using the ICU that is now coming to fruition up the fort. We still have the ICU at Signal Hill that is being used. You know, hopefully we don't need those services, but if we do have the manpower and we do have the other resources that are necessary to reactivate if necessary.
Even as we follow the safety measures, health officials continue to urge people to get vaccinated. In Tobago, vaccination sites are at the Roxborough Health Facility, the Canaan Health Center, and the Scarborough Health Center. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
So we've come to the end of yet another edition of Let's Talk Tobago, and as always, we thank you for watching. Please email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to visit our website, like our Office of the Chief Secretary Facebook page, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. From our house to yours, I'm Davia Chambers, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and fantastic week. We leave you now with a montage of our tour of Little Tobago. Do enjoy.
From America and to own Goat Island, that's wealth and power. All right, the guy who built it, his name is John Parks. That's the builder, but he's now dead. So Mr. Morris will come like 6 months and he go back to the States until he gets fed up, and he sold it to another American whose name is Dr. Russell. Russell sold it to another American whose name is Gwen Todd. Now Todd transformed the island and brought it to a very high standard until it ended up in a local hands.
Tobago is the pirates being here, they were chased away. The cotton, what Little Tobago also had, we were told that Little Tobago housed lepers. So when lepers were in their last stages of life, they would be brought here on the island to live out their last days.